Hey y'all, and welcome back. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to check out another one of my videos. Today is another installment in my top palettes for 2021, and today we're going to be revealing and using the top fourth, or my number 4 palette from 2021. So of all the palettes that I've tried, which if you missed that video, I'll leave it linked up here, and I ranked all the palettes that I tried and wore and reviewed in 2021. I chose this one as the 4th best palette of the year. Now I did say in my last video when I did the 5th palette, I'm going to be doing eye looks with my top 5 palettes, and as I rank them going up, trust me when I say that I love all of these palettes as if they were number 1. Like sitting here having to break down and decide which is a top 5 and in which order has stressed me out just slightly because I love them all for different reasons. And to try to say that this is 4th best, this palette we're going to talk about today is 4th best, as if like it's not as good as number 1 palette. No, I love it just as much as number 1, but it's just so different, and I can only pick one for number 1, so it's at the 4th spot. Do keep in mind, as I always say, my rankings are just for fun. If you want to hear more in-depth reviews outside of these ranking videos, I always have it linked down below where you can find those videos in either dedicated videos or Palette-Palooza. But anyway, let me go ahead and just show you guys. My number 4 palette for 2021 is the LA Girl Mainstage palette. This is a palette I tried at the beginning of the year, and it has stuck with me the entire year of just how amazing and beautiful and gorgeous and just like stunning this palette is, and the looks that you get. They did a fantastic job. I think it's the most colorful palette I've ever seen LA Girl do, so I was a little curious how the formula would be. They did an amazing job. The matte's buttery smooth. The shimmers are like blinding. Ugh, I cannot wait to dive into this palette. So yeah, this is my number 4. So when it comes to my top palettes from 2021, it was such a delight. I have a dedicated video on it. As I said, I'll leave it linked down below. I mentioned it in Palette-Palooza, and I feel like I've mentioned it over the course of the year, just, you know, telling you guys how much I enjoyed it. I mentioned it as a winter palette because I just feel like it has those vibes to be very wintry. Yes, springy, but also winter in there too, which I'm going to go for a more winter look today. So we'll see if we can get there. But anyway, I love this palette so much, and I enjoyed it so very much, so I'm excited to get to dive in to another look. So with that intro out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get a bit closer, and we can start doing a look together with the number 4 palette for 2021 for me. Okay, so I just used some of the Ace Beauté eyeshadow base in the color Light for my primer, and of course I got a little bit in my brows because I'm clumsy, and this is why I do my eyes first, because I'm that kind of clumsy. So for the palette, if you haven't seen it that up close, here it is. I have been going round and round with what I want to do, and I think I want to stay very blue focused with the green kind of mixed in. Or should I go silver? Because I don't really feel like I played with the silver that much when I was trying it at the beginning of the year, just because this green stole my heart so much. So maybe I should go like purple, blue, silver. That could be pretty and unexpected. Maybe pop this matte green somewhere. Maybe use that as an inner corner highlight. I think I'm going to do something like that. All right, so I'm going to take that darkest shade, which is that black, and I'm going to take a really tiny flat little brush like the What's Up Beauty R106, and I'm going to very carefully pack that on the outer corner because I'm going to put purple on top and above this, and I think I'm going to bring blue inward a little bit, maybe a touch of blue green really in there. I'm not sure exactly, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm not taking this too high. This is mainly going to be used to deepen up the look. I don't really want it to stand on its own 2 feet as a black. That's just like so easy to pop down there. So easy, y'all. The pigmentation on this palette shocked me. I don't think I'd tried LA Girl before trying this one, at least that I can remember, and these bigger palettes because they'd all been so neutral, but oh my goodness, so beautiful. So now let's go ahead and take this purple right here. I don't think they have names. Oh, they do have names, but anyway, I'm just going to point to it for you guys. Take that purple, I'm putting it right on top of the black, and then I'm going to blend it up just a little bit above that. And we'll see how I like it. We'll start up here, place it down, and my goal is just to make the black that I put down look a little bit more purpley, to kind of lend it to a really dark purple outer corner, and then start showing some purple out here in this corner. I'm kind of making this look up as I go. Like I said, I don't really have a very clear idea, but I want to go winter, and I think I do want to use that silver on the lid just because it's a little different for me. I feel like I would have just went with the green on the lid because I love that green, but I'm pretty sure I used the green in my initial review videos, so if you want to see the green used, you can check that out. All right, again, went on so smooth. Something also too that is a little unexpected right now, I don't have a ton of fallout. Like, Do I have any fallout? Maybe a speck or two. I'm kind of impressed, especially having used such deep colors. I would expect some fallout. Okay, now we're gonna go into blue actually. I was kind of thinking of taking the purple pink as the next step to blend it out, but then I feel like it'll get very pinky on my outer edge, and I really don't want it to be pinky. So I'm gonna take this lighter blue. We're gonna use that to blend out the purple and see what happens. I wanted to keep it very blue purpley, not so much pink. Blue purple for whatever reason. So I'm gonna put this out here, and this is the color I'm gonna use to kind of fade out to my brow bone and to skin and whatnot, soften it all out to get as natural as I can from blue to my skin tone. But yeah, just blending it out. I cannot believe I don't have a ton of fallout, unless I'm just not seeing it right now. It is early in the morning. My husband had to run to work, to be in at work a lot earlier today than normal. And so I was like, you know, I could get up with him, see him off, and then I can have like an hour before the kids wake up so I can get a video filmed before the day starts. But anyway, that's why I have like morning voice. If you're wondering why I'm extra scratchy, it's early. But anyway, that looks good. I'll probably play with it more just to make sure it's continuing like to be like super diffused out to my skin. But for now, we're gonna go on to the inner corner, and let's go ahead and take this little brush, which is, I think this is a Morphe, some type of Morphe brush I got in a set from, pretty sure a BoxyCharm. I'm gonna take that bright blue, the light bright blue, or not light bright blue, it's the darkest matte blue in the palette, but it's very bright. We're gonna take that and pop it right here, and I think I might leave the very inner corner still for the green. I feel like that might be fun to have a pop of green. Or am I just trying to think of an excuse to have a bright green in here? It could also be that. I just feel like that would be fun. Look how intensely pigmented. I mean, it's been almost a year since I tried this. I want to say I tried this bright in January and I reviewed it and haven't really been able to touch it since, but like, it's so pigmented and beautiful. This is why it's getting so high on my countdown. But when I'm using it with these colors, it's like, it's #1 for this color story because the pigmentation is just so amazing and beautiful, and yeah, going on and on about it. I am so impressed. All right, so I'm just gonna take that lighter blue and use it to kind of diffuse and match these two together. They almost look like they could be a little too close, but I do think that the brighter blue gives a little extra something that the light blue doesn't, even when packed on. Blending them out, I feel like that's where they kind of look almost the same. Okay, so now I'm gonna take another small brush. Let's go with this one from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, the B4. Her brushes are so good. I'm gonna take that matte green because I just, at this point I have come to admit it, I just wanna have a green somewhere in my look. So we're gonna put it right in here and blend it up. Just a hint, and maybe I'll even use that other green for an inner corner, or we can put on the lower lash line to give a pop of that green because it's so pretty. And yes, I know, had to fit the green in somewhere. Couldn't just leave it blue and purple. But now it just feels a little bit more like me with that little bit of green in there. Okay, roughly I have all the matte work pretty much done at this point. I'll definitely blend more on the outside portion once the eye look is complete and I'm finishing out my look. I feel like the blend is pretty smooth between all of these. They're so pigmented and easy to work with. I feel like it just takes a few moments of blending. It's like, oh, yep, I'm done. Pretty happy with it, at least for me and my level and expertise of blending. I'm gonna take the blue underneath this to try to soften it out. I am gonna put a wing on, because I always do a wing, but this will be kind of like peeking out under the wing to kind of blend it all out. I feel like that's a little harsh still, and maybe I'm just being weird, so I'm gonna take a clean brush, and I'm just gonna go along the edges. I've been trying to work at getting better at blending my outer corner, because I feel like, especially as I'm posting a lot of close-up eye pictures, I'm like, ugh, Katie, that blend. So I have been working on it. I feel like I fail more than I succeed, but at least I'm focusing on it a little bit more when I do my eye looks, so therefore I feel like I'm improving, because I'm, you know, at least trying and aware of it now, as opposed to earlier this year. I don't know, I just don't think I really looked at it. I looked at my outer edge that hard, so I didn't really see it or worry about it. Okay, I think that's gonna be good. Using a clean brush has really been helping me just give it a nice smooth look all around. This side I feel like I need to blend a little bit more, probably because I'm doing it off camera, so I'm kind of like rushing past this one to try to complete my face, or like my eye makeup quickly before the children wake up. So let me just spend a little bit more time blending on this side, because I want them to match. I want both sides to look like they were blended. Okay, at this point I'm going to take some glitter primer. This is from JD Club Glitter Stuck Adhesive. I've been testing it out, so I've been using it a lot recently, trying to get a feel for it. So far, besides it being very hard to like press out, I'm being gentle because you can easily, if you just press it, you get a huge shot of liquid, and it's just A, gets a mess everywhere, but B, too much. Like I don't need that much for my eyes, and I feel like I waste so much when I do that. So I really try to like control it and only bring out a drop or two, but like I said, it's very hard to squeeze it and only get a drop. It just kind of wants to resist and then like all come down at the same time and shoot it all out. So I don't love the way it dispenses product, but so far I've been pretty impressed with how well it works, because I feel like it works really darn well. Again, I need to start, now that I've used it a lot, like I'm still in the process of testing it. So now that I've used it a lot and I'm impressed with it, I need to start wearing it side by side with like my other glitter primers to see if it's as good, a little bit worse, or better than those. All right, now gonna go into a flat brush. I'm so excited. I finally washed my brushes, so I have a lot of flat brushes. Let's go with that. We'll stick with this one. Smashbox Buildable Concealer. Really nice, a big flat brush. And if I remember right, these type of brushes work very well with this formula. It's so shiny. So I'm kind of going back between these two shimmers, these two silver ones. I think I'm gonna go with this one just because I think it's the brightest, and I'm gonna put that in the inner corner and blend it up. And then I haven't decided what I'm gonna put on the rest of the lid. I wanna use two of their colors just because they're so beautiful. They're very flaky and they're very soft. I do know when this first launched, like people were getting broken palettes galore from Ulta because it's such a softly pigmented or like softly pressed type of shimmer that they were just shattering in shipment. And I think I got 2 or 3 of them that because the first couple shattered before I actually got one that was intact. So a little annoying to have to like always be like, hey, it came broke, help. But I mean, Ulta was really good to always replace it, you know, no questions asked kind of thing. I would just send them a picture and they'd be like, okay, we'll send you out a replacement. Anyway, just placing, look how blinding that is. So beautiful. I should have kind of looked ahead to see, or like looked back at my Palette Palooza when I reviewed this palette to see if I'm duplicating an eye look, because that might be a little boring. I don't think it's a duplication of the eye looks I did when I reviewed it, but again, I didn't really look. I should do that for the next 3 palettes. That way I'm not giving you guys something you've already seen. But I just kind of opened the palette and went where I was feeling like at the moment. So there we have it. I'm going to do the other side, and then we'll decide what shimmer we're going to put in the empty space there. And I don't know if it's because I'm right-handed, so this is on my right side, so I just do it more smoothly and naturally and easily than my other side, but like putting that on, it's so intense. Like it's just so jam-packed with intense metallic. You guys know I like a metallic look most to my eyes, or when it comes to what I like on my eyelids. Metallic always looks so stunning, but this also has a ton of sparkle in it as well. It's very, very beautiful. Okay, so for the rest of it, I am going to put the green there. I know I should probably put something else, but I was looking at it and I was like, well, I mean, if I put this, I feel like they're too close together. You won't even really be able to tell a difference. These are a lot more like sheer-ish, so I wouldn't put those on the main lid. I want the most color on the main lid. And I don't really want to go this red or purple. And yes, I know it's just me, so I was like, oh, I'll just put green. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. And I think it'll look really pretty because it'll be like green on the inner corner, and then out here it'll be a little bit like a, what is that, complementing colors or something fun like that. That's what I'm gonna do. Yes, I'm probably just trying to figure out a way to justify me using this green because I really do love it, but I found a way to use it, so we're using it. Look how gorgeous that is. The shimmers are incredibly like, not flaky where they're hard to like use or they come off in sheets, but they're just softly pressed, I feel like is the best way I could describe this flake. I'm getting a good amount of fallout as well of this shimmers. None of the mattes, which is I think very impressive as well. When you think about like how intensely pigmented and colorful these mattes are, the fact that they don't cause any fallout is kind of impressive in my opinion. Anyway, I'm just gonna blend these two together and then we'll pop more of the purple out here, and I'll bring it onto the green a little bit to also help the purple pop because I feel like it's getting a little overshadowed in this eye look, but should I be surprised? I'm usually always focusing on the blues and greens, and poor purple gets overlooked. Man, it's just so intense. Like when I turn my head, I don't know if you guys can see, it's got so much sparkle going on, but just also just so metallic looking on my face. All right, I probably should have put some powder down at least for the shimmer part of this because there is a good amount of shimmer. Let's see if it all comes off when I brush it away. You guys know I'm not a fan of glitter, sparkle, or even eyeshadow fallout on my face. Okay, there is still some left, but honestly not as bad as I thought. I feel like it's mostly down here and here where I don't set as heavily. Maybe that's why it's sticking, but oh well, nothing to do now. All right, at this point I'm gonna take that little bit of purple and I'm gonna pop it on the outer corner. And I think I'm going to bring it up a little bit. I do like this purple with it being, you know, I feel like I always, like I said, overlook or just don't, you know, pay attention to the purples. But this purple really does complement this palette with the greens and the blues really, really nicely. It's got like a dusty hue to it that is just very, very beautiful. So I'm bringing it up a little bit onto that green just so it stands out a little bit as being purple. I feel like that looks nice. And then let's move on to the lower lashes. All right, I'm gonna do the lower lashes and then I'll finish off my eye look off camera. Let's see, what do I wanna do with my lower lashes? I feel like the easiest thing is just to put dark purple underneath there, and then what should I pop it with though? I don't really wanna do green because I got the green here and here now. So let me think. I'm gonna take a brush, take a little bit of black on a really flat brush, and I'm gonna keep that right against my lower lash line. And then I'm gonna, kind of like I did up top, put purple here, and then I'll probably soften it all out with blue. Maybe I'll put the lightest purple reddish tone in there since I didn't use that too much. We could do that. Not exactly the right brush for it, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm already on to 9 brushes. I think that's a lot. I kind of don't want to dirty another one. We're using so many colors at this point. What's another one? We're gonna stick the pinky purple shade on the inner portion here. So I do have to use another color. I was just talking about not wanting to, or I have to use another brush. So we're gonna take this shade, I'll do it on this side, and I'm gonna pop it right here. Just a little pop of, I don't even know what shade to call this. Is it like a cool tone mauve? It's not really like purple, but it's not pink. I mean, maybe it is purple. I don't know. When I look at it compared to the purple next to it, it's like, oh, you're pink. But I'm sure if I looked at this next to a pink, I'd be like, oh, you're purple. So what is that called? What shade is, what do they call those type of shades that are like in between the two? But anyway, ooh, that's pretty. That's a little something. I like pops is something different on the lower lash line. And that definitely does it for me. Okay, I'm gonna take the lightest blue and come around once again and just work on blending it. But let's do my inner corner, and then I'm gonna go off screen and put on wing liner and mascara before we zoom out and do the final look. Inner corner, I think the best course of action is to take this because it's like a silver purple blue, and I feel like with this look, it'll go really well. And I don't think it'll be too dark. If it's too dark, I'll pop the pink over it to lighten it up a bit. But I feel like, ooh, yeah, this is a pretty shade. Oh yeah, I feel like that's fun. That's like a very, that'd make a fun face highlighter if I didn't already put highlighter on. Maybe I could top it a little bit. Oh, there's some depth to it. I always am a little hesitant when it comes to eyeshadows, using eyeshadows as face highlighters because sometimes they have depth to it that, I don't know, I don't really notice when I'm using it on my eyes. But then when I go and put it on my face highlighter, it's like, oh, you now have a streak of like gray on your cheek, top of your cheekbones. Good job, Katie. Okay. I'm gonna stop now because if not, I'll just keep going on and on and on and blend forever. I'm gonna put liner on, mascara, and I'm gonna put black in my waterline, and then we'll come back for the final reveal and close out this video. All right, so we are back, and here is the completed look. I really like how it turned out. I feel like it might be close to something I've created, but my fingers are crossed that it's not. Like I said, major oversight here. I will definitely try to correct that with the last 3 palettes to actually go and look at all the looks that I did and think through my look before jumping on camera, just to try to not make it too alike. But regardless, I still hope you guys enjoyed this look and that you guys enjoy how it turned out. I really like it. I love that little pop of green on the inner corner on the outside of my lid shade. The purple to blue is beautiful. The blues are stunning. Blending it was a dream. Everything about this palette is just so beautiful and effortless. I'm just as impressed as I was when I first tried it. And yeah, I feel like this is just such a hidden gem and is not that much money. LA Girl is very affordable, and all throughout the year I was seeing it multiple times on sale for like around $7. And every time I saw it I was like, should I buy a backup? But I was like, no, Katie, you don't need a backup. But it is just such a good palette, such a great price. I just felt like it was almost a shame not to pick it up. Anyway, regardless, I love this palette, and using it again is just confirming why I'm placing it so high in my countdown, because it's just such a good palette. And if you like color, if you like really cool tone looks and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, you can get such amazing quality with this palette. And I'm not just saying that it's like a great palette and a great color story and you should go get it because it's affordable. No, I feel like with this formula, I'm putting it right up there with so many indie palettes that I love that are in like the $30, $40 even dollar mark. It's just such a great palette and just so affordable. I still can't get over how amazing it is. So yeah, that is my look. This is my fourth palette for 2021, LA Girl Mainstage Desert Dream palette. It was so much fun to use once again, and I hope you guys enjoyed this. And yeah, that is gonna do it for this video. My next video will be revealing my number 3 palette, and as I said last video, let me know down below in the comments if you can guess which palette am I gonna put in my number 3 spot for top palettes from 2021 that I tried. There were so many good palettes, especially at the end of the year. Like, oh my goodness, so many amazing palettes. I don't want to give anything away, so I'm not gonna say anything else, but let me know if you can guess what the video will be next time in 2 days when I upload that, and which palette is my top 3 palette from 2021. But with that said, I'm over on Instagram. I'm LadyKatie92 over there if you want to check me out, follow me for my reels, up close eye pictures. I'll definitely be sharing this at some point because I love it. And yeah, I'm over there, LadyKatie92. With all that said, I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye.